Hi there, welcome to the YouTube channel. Something a little bit different for me today, not something I do that often, but I think today's video is something that is being brought to my attention, and I've never really thought about it until now, and it started with this. So last week, as I always say in all my videos, I try and respond to all my comments, and I do read all the comments, but I got this one come through, and I've just taken the user's name off. It was on one of the YouTube videos. I'm not naming the person. Obviously, if they want to comment on this video and go a little bit deeper, that's fine. I've got no issue with it. But it came up with this. Sorry if this feels like I'm dunking on you, but I had to get this off my chest. Am I the only one who, when they click on a deck tech and see a green deck with any rocks, I immediately click off the video? Now, I've never thought about this before, and I thought it was time for me to have a real think about it. And I went back through some of my decks, and yeah, I do still tend to play the rocks in a lot of the green based decks. Why? I have my reasons for, which I'll get into. And then we got a second follow-up comment today as I'm recording this, which is this comment. Not to mention mana dorks like Birds of Paradise, Gemhide, Sliver, Noble and Ignoble, Hierarch, Llanowar, etc. All of these options are either cheaper mana wise, more versatile in what mana they produce, or pull lands out of your deck so you don't draw into them later. Now, I think this was probably worthy of a little bit of thought by me. So, here we go. If this isn't the sort of video you like, fine. If you want to leave some comments, I'll really appreciate knowing what everyone else thinks who watches the videos. But I have my reasons for doing it. I'm still going to use MTGO, so there's going to be a little bit of chopping in this video, but here we go. So, me being me, I did a filter on all of the usual ones that we have. So, you've got Avacyn's Pilgrim, taps and adds white. You've got Birds of Paradise, taps and adds anything. We've got Kami, that technically adds mana of one colour, where X is the number power. You've got Noble Hierarch. I've got Ignoble Hierarch somewhere further down. You've got Rowclaw Mystic. You've got Beast Caller. Some things like, Great Henges here. Technically, I suppose that's a rock. And so on and so forth. You all know all the ones we're talking about. If I just change this filter to Elf over here for a second. The traditional ones that everyone knows are down here in the one drop slot somewhere when I can find them. He says, really trying to find them. So you've got like Elvish Mystics here. You've got Fire-Noid Elves. You've got Llanowar, wherever Llanowar is. They're all here. They're all fine creatures. I have no problem with them. And in mono decks or in decks that I'm building elves in, yeah, I've got absolutely no issue with them. The problem I have with all of these creature ones, I'll add one mana, which I can't type, so you can see how much of a problem I have at the moment still. The problem I still have with them is they all do the same thing. They die very easily. I play a lot of games where Wrath of God's a key thing. You get Blasphemous Act, you get Chain Reaction. Yes, I play them in my decks as well. But you've even got the smaller down things that only do 2 damage or 3 damage to all creatures. You lose all of these creatures that are there. I'm not counting Azeka in this, by the way, because Azeka is a different kettle of fish altogether because of the 4 toughness and the prismatic bridge. But you do lose them. There's very few, unless you get something really lucky, like the original Vorinclex that lets you double, give you extra mana off both of your lands, or I don't know, ramp up Incubation Druid somehow by getting the adaptation off, so you get that up to a 3/5. That's fine. They survive the small stuff, but all the creatures die to it. And it really did start me thinking about what I should be playing in Green X decks. And I have to say, with the person who left the comments, including the one from earlier today when I'm recording this video, I think I have been doing it slightly wrong. If it's a mono green deck, if I am picking up a mono green legend, for example, I've got Nissa here. We all know Nissa, Resurgent Animist. Yeah, I think I probably have been playing it wrong. I should be playing the elf creatures, the Birds of Paradise. I should be playing more things like Cultivate or Kodoma's Reach or whatever. The 2 mana, 3 visits is a common one that sees a lot of play nowadays in my decks. Because it does go and get forest lands, so it gets to try lands if I'm playing a 3 color deck. But there are still some rocks I think need to be included, even if you're playing a mono green deck. You know, I think the most obvious one that everyone knows is always going to be Sol Ring. He says, trying to get it to come up, and it's come up with me regard. There you go, Sol Ring. I've got two versions. Don't ask me why I've got two versions. I just have. We'll leave that alone. But Sol Ring always turns up. Even in the Wizards pre-con decks, we have Sol Ring appear. And it is a card that turns up and does things, you know. It's 2 colourless mana. It helps, you know, if you get this in play and you get your mono green legend killed, you know, with this in play, that's the command attacks paid on that creature with this card. So you're paying the caster cost and you're tapping Sol Ring. That's fine. It helps with the other things. You know, green still has X spells in it. I'm thinking of you, Genesis Wave. I'm thinking of Genesis Hydra. You know, any of the Hydras that have X in them. Sol Ring helps you do the X mana. So I think there is an argument to having them. Now, I agree that there are some things that I play that you may not agree with. You know, in a mono green deck, do you need Arcane Signet? Do you need... You know, the green diamond, you know, moss diamond, that's what I'm looking for. My answer for the decks I play, even when I'm playing mono green, yes you do, because yes, it's all well and good having things like rampant growth available, you know, to go and get those forests out, explosive vegetation, so on and so forth. Fine, I've got no issue with them. But, and this is where I get my butt from, I think that when you're playing something that is a green X deck, and by X I mean it could be green white, green blue, green black, green red, green white, black red, so on and so forth, I think you need to include more of the rocks in them. Especially when you've got things like Chromatic Lantern available. I mean, yeah, is it a rock? It's not 2 mana. Rocks traditionally are 2 manas. But Chromatic Lantern really helps you when you're playing a 3 or 4 colour deck. It means that all the lands you control have the ability to tap for the mana you want, as long as this is in play. And it taps itself for a mana. So you play 3 mana, you've got 1 mana left over. Okay, fine. But the next turn, you play another land, you're looking at 5 mana of any colour, which really helps you going back to, our lovely Charismatic Bridge guy. If you have Chromatic Lantern available, along with, wherever he's gone, lost him now in my collection, sorry. You know who I'm talking about, don't you? Alright, we'll use Goshin Tai, there you go. We use Goshin Tai. Goshin Tai is a 5 colour legendary green creature. Yes, it works on shrines, but you need all 5 colours to make it work. It really does help hit this whole return target enchantment thing. And my point of view is, you know, especially with, you know, if I just type in Talisman, I've picked up all of the colour pairs of the Talismans. I think having them in any deck, you know, even the green ones, so you're looking at what? Talisman of Resilience, you're looking at Talisman of Impulse, Talisman of Curiosity. They all help. They give, yes, these ones deal damage, I know that. You can get the other ones that don't. You pay 1 and tap them, they give you 1 of 2 mana. That's fine, no issue with them. But I think there is an argument to have rocks in your green decks, no matter what happens. You know, I've got a real soft spot for the suspend ones at the moment, I have to say. So, you know, Soul Talisman. I can't spell suspend when I'm recording a video and talking at the same time. Mox Tantalite, Soul Talisman, you will see in a lot of my decks. That's not to say I don't include things like Search for Tomorrow. They all help. Venture Forth I really enjoy playing at the moment. But I'm very sure that these come out better when you're playing something like a legend that is 5 colours, 4 colours, 3 colours. For example, if I just type in here Hydra, just for the sake of argument, take that off. There you go. Gyrus, Waker of Corpses. I like playing this at the moment. I'm enjoying this. I've done a little bit of work on this. There will be a video coming soon for this, maybe even tomorrow, because this is coming out on Thursday, this video. I might put this as a bonus video, or I might do a stream replay for Friday and do this next week. But you'll see my video and my take on Gyrus very soon. And in Gyrus at the moment, I am playing a lot of ramp. I am playing a lot of the talismans we just saw. And I'm also playing the medallions, which, he says, Yeah, they've appeared now. I'm playing the medallions because it does reduce your costs. And do you count these as rocks or not? I get the point of what the commentator was trying to make. I really do. And I think it's something that is worthwhile thinking about even more, especially as I do my decks going forward. And I have, one of the comments I made on the video. I'm not going to say what video it's on. It's not fair, but I'm sure if you track it down, you can find it. But I personally think that even if you're playing a mono green deck, that you do need to play some of the rocks, for want of a better phrase, to play, especially Emerald Medallion, especially Sol Ring. Maybe not the suspend ones that I love. I do love. That's me. That's a real personal choice on my account. I have to say, Sol Talisman is just something I really do enjoy playing. But I can see the point where they're coming from, and I'll be really interested to know what your thoughts are down below. I'm not doing this as a let's wind everyone up, a fight, an argument. I will quite happily delete this video if the comments start degenerating into that. But I think it's worthwhile thinking about it. Obviously, we're talking about green decks. I don't think anyone in the world is going to complain if I'm doing a red-white deck, a black-blue deck, a red-black deck, all the other deck types that don't involve green. I don't think anyone's going to complain if there's rocks in there, because you do need them. You haven't got any other real way. Well, white does have some ramp in it, I know that, but most of the other decks don't have that much ramp available to them, so you do need them in there for it. But I understand the point of view of the green decks to a certain extent. But for me, I think it's the speed of which you can do it. And yeah, okay, maybe if I'm doing mono green decks going future, if we get any mono green commanders in Murders at Karloff Manors, I will try and avoid the rocks. And going forward, I'll try and avoid some more of the rocks. So I think it's if nothing else, it's a good brain exercise. Wood Elves is sitting in my collection. It sees play occasionally, especially if I've got Panharmonicon in play, but not always in my green decks. So yeah, there is an argument for it, but let me know what you think down below. The creature ramp, I kind of get. People say play it, but it dies so easily in Commander, especially on MTGO. Maybe not in your pools if you're playing on paper. Whereas, yes, you get the occasional thing that blows up all your artifacts, and I'm looking at you, Bane of Progress, or Jockelholps, or Nevral's Disc, or Boom Pile. Yeah, they do hurt. Dismantling Wave, even to a certain level of play. Gemhide Master, Fade from History. Yes, there's a lot of things out there that blows them all up, and I get that can hurt. And with the green decks, yeah, playing the other things hurt. But at the end of the day, how often do you see things like your Steer Command? How often do you see a Chroma's Vengeance? Jockelholps, I mean, yeah, may turn up a little bit more in CEDH and upset people, but it's not the most common one in the world. White Sun Zenith, even, I'm not sure why that's here. That's just purely here. I don't know why that's even filled up on that, because it says destroy artifacts. But Nev's Disc, this was the traditional one that everyone played around and got involved in, and you never see it. A bit like Neville Herbal Titan itself. But these things do exist. They do turn up occasionally. Decree of Annihilation. I don't think I've seen anyone play that in a Commander game for ages that didn't result in everyone quitting there and then. But I don't know. I think it's still worthwhile having the rocks in the green decks, in addition to some of the ramp cards, Culvate, Kodoma's Reach, etc., etc. Lanoir Elves, Elvish Mystic, Birds of Paradise, Wood Elves, so on and so forth. Gemhide Sliver that by the commenter mentioned. So I'll look at it when I'm doing a mono deck, but in the meantime, I think, when you've got something like, Zakama sitting here, we'll use Zakama as the creature to say goodbye on. 3 colour decks, you need your rocks, because you're not always going to hit all the mana you need, and your rocks do help you get there, so you can get your creatures down a little bit quicker. But like I said, bit of a different video day. I will do a deck tech for tomorrow. So let me know in the comments what you think down below, and yeah, I'll be interested to read them all, and I'll try to respond to them as I can. But if you haven't already, down below me somewhere should be the subscribe button. Please hit the subscribe button, help me out a little bit more. I'm sitting at 316 subscribers on the YouTube channel at the moment as I record this. Aim for the end of 2024, as I've said in a few videos this week, is to hit 500. So I will stop asking you to subscribe after this week, I promise, and I'll just do it once a week after that. But for now, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'll be really interested to read them. Thank you. See you soon. Bye.